I wonder what my neighbors think of me. I've set up in one of my front windows in my room, and I don't remember what it's like having neighbors. I don't know how much they can see of me. But I did see somebody yesterday on a bike with a Viking hat. So I'm really hoping that this isn't the weirdest thing they've seen today. I moved. Today I've got some Suka vibes. I've got my little Warriors wolf tail and only Hawaiian short vibes today. So, anyway, I've moved. This is my new room. I'm not going to show you the rest of it because that would be weird. I haven't finished decorating, as you can tell. I don't know how long my camera has charged for because I haven't charged it up. That's on me. We'll see what happens. I might just have to do a second day again or come back later this evening when there's not as much sunlight, which is fine. As you can tell by the title, this is my book recommendations from the pandemic. Since March, I've read 34 books. I'm on my 35th right now. So I really got time to dive back into that. I haven't had this much time to read since I was, I don't know, maybe junior high. My high school work loaded up so much, I didn't have as much time then. So it's been really delightful to go back into that hobby of mine and get to appreciate it. I feel like I did a 3-part series on Forever Mine, which was trash. And I feel like I need to put out some good vibes with some good book recommendations since I just shit on that book for 3 videos worth, and I should be more positive with my work. So I have some of the books from the pandemic that I recommend the most for this video. Oh, and I'm going to have guests. I haven't filmed them yet. My book club should be coming in, and my mom. So that'll be good. I don't have all the books, so I'll be showing a lot of the pictures. And then also, all of these book recommendations are fiction because that's really all that I read is fiction, and most of them are fantasy in some way. So if you don't like those things, you're probably not going to like any of these recommendations. But that being said, here it is for you anyway. Yeah, okay. These are just in the order that I read them and then pulled them from my Goodreads account. They're not like in order of favoritism or anything. So the first one I want to talk about is the Wicked and the Divine series. I think I gotta go pull that up so I'm not like super wrong about it. Now I read this one through my Hoopla app, which I'm hooked up to through the Casey library. So if your library hooks you up to Hoopla, it's an online resource. It's like a library. You get all of the ebooks, audiobooks, music, movies that they have. It's wonderful. Anyway, so this is on Hoopla. I thought this was really good. It's a graphic novel, and it's this idea that, I don't remember exactly how many years, it was some weird number, like every 90 or 110, something like that. The gods come back and are reincarnated. And so it was really interesting seeing this take on the gods, but they're all teenagers, and they all know they're going to die within 2 years. Like, yes, you get to be a god. You get to fucking live it up, but you're going to be dead. So you do have to keep that in mind. Like, as you read, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into this conspiracy. Anyway, I think it was really well done. I was hooked. The artwork, I think, was incredible. I think the writing was wonderful. And then they also had different issues with different types of artwork. And I just think it's really well done. The other thing that I really liked about the Wicked and Divine series is I thought the characters were really well written. They had many layers, and I thought they were pretty complex in 3D. So that was nice too. If you haven't been reading graphic novels in the past, I do suggest that you read at least one before this, that you're kind of in like a graphic novel headspace, but it was really well done. I've already got a low battery flashing sign. So we're gonna pause, put this boy on the charger, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Fuck around for 2 hours or so while it charges. Take 2. I went and watered my new flowers. I love them very much. Here's a picture of them here. And then did a little bit of paperwork, so hopefully this is enough time to film a little bit more. The next book we're going to do is Come Back to Me, which is actually a recommendation from my mom, and she's been trying to get me read it for like 2 years. She loves it. She's read it so many times. It's a romance book, which I usually don't do just contemporary romance, but I did it because my mom kept pestering me, and I was very bored being stuck at home. And the one thing that I liked about this is that there were higher stakes. It's about a military family, so you're dealing with a healing process there. The book starts with you knowing that one of the characters has died. You just don't know which one. So you're kind of like going through all of that. Her dad has PTSD. You're seeing that relationship between her and him, her and her mom, her brother. There was more than just her and the guy she was into and that being the whole world, which is one of the problems that I had with Forever Mine. That was it. It was just the boy. So I really liked this one because there was more to it, and I thought it was really well done. So now I'm going to have my mom come and join me. You feel like you're all studied up?
Oh, of course.
Well,
Claire has to move her bum over?
okay, I'll just fit in here next to her.
She'll move.
Oh, I'm sure she won't. Or she'll just pick a
There
lap.
you go.
She'll stay here. Okay, so I'm back home for a little bit. We're filming this at night, so there's less light, and I didn't bring my microphone. Glitter's also joining us, which is a surprise special guest, because she misses me and wants to hang out with me.
Definitely does.
Yeah, so I have her here as well. She doesn't have a lot of opinions on the books. She didn't read them. She just sat with me while I did, so we'll try not to ask her too many questions. Okay, so come back to me.
Come Back to Me. Great book. The author's fantastic. More than one book. It's romance. You have romance, and you also have conflict with the parent. You have the parent's conflicts all around. It's not totally just romance. You have lots of relationships with people, and it's a great book.
Yeah.
Well written.
You were trying to get me to read that for what, 2 years?
A long time.
How many times have you read it?
Multiple.
The next one I want to talk about is the Tiger's Curse series. This was one of my favorite series when I was in junior high, and I started up a book club this summer with a couple of my friends, Kellie and Hannah. I mean, the libraries were closed, so we decided to do books we already owned, and the things that all three of us owned were the old reads from our junior high years and high school years. So we reread the Tiger's Curse series, and we were all kind of concerned. I wonder if this is going to hold up to our standards, and it did. Like, it did really well. It's a fantasy, it's a YA, you've got romance, you've got paranormal, you've got some myth aspects of it, and I just was, like, once I started, I just had to go through it. I read a review, and I'll put it up there, that said, Tiger's Curse, and the only sentence is, Twilight for cat lovers. Which isn't wrong. It's a story of a girl from Oregon who meets a tiger who's actually an Indian prince, and he needs her help breaking this curse, so she goes to help him break the curse, and then it turns out that it's both him and his brother are cursed, and they're hundreds of years old, so she needs to help do that, but then she kind of falls in love with both of them. Anyway, I'm very much Team Kaishin. Kellie and Hannah are very much Team Rin, so yeah, things would get kind of intense sometimes between the three of us. But here might be them talking about it. If not, they're definitely going to be here for the next segment.
Look at us, the whole gang's here. Okay, so this is Tiger's Curse. And then you'll know what I've said, and then you guys can speak accordingly.
Perfect.
So that's what I have so
I
far.
love it. Oh my gosh.
Here we are. Here we are, talking Tiger's Curse.
Dr. Tiger's Curse.
Okay, what was I saying? I was in the middle of a lead up.
We're also consistent about.
Oh, you know what else we were consistent about? I'm still Team Kaishin, and you motherfuckers are still Team Rin.
Yes.
Like, I look back at Twilight, and I was a total Team Edward fan when I read it. I was like prepubescent in 5th grade, and I was like, and nothing's better than Edward. And now I look back, and I'm like, fucking Team Jacob all the way. But this one, I still read it, and I was still like, but I love Kaishin.
I feel like if I reread Twilight, I'd definitely be a Jacob stan, but I'm not going to.
I'm not rereading it. I'm just gonna keep rewatching the movies so I can play my board game.
Yeah.
Read Twilight.
You didn't read it?
I never read it, no.
Well,
I watched the movies maybe once.
Tiger's Curse, like the type of mood, the genre, the feel, how would you recommend it?
Tiger's Curse was the book that made me want to read.
Oh,
It was like 6th grade. I got it because you liked it. I was like, this would be good. This might be good. And it was. It was amazing. And it still is amazing.
Yeah, it held up.
I remember in 6th grade, I wasn't reading like YA. I was still reading, Warriors books. That's what kind of kid I was.
That's the shit.
And then I saw you guys reading it, and so I was like, ooh, there's a cat on it. And so that's what drew me in initially. I'm a sucker for a cat on a book. What can I say?
And then you were a sucker for a cat. Team
Yeah.
Rant.
I mean,
It's Twilight for
And
cats.
until I die.
Oh, but Christian's so good. He doesn't get a lot of time in the first book.
Yeah.
he doesn't.
It comes
He's
up-
in
I
that one
almost fell
scene.
for him in the second one, but
I
I had
did.
to stay true.
I fell hard. But this book was like primarily, I feel like it was a good balance of romance and the myth that they were kind of chasing.
Yeah, it intertwined really good.
And I still think the plot was good. And you know what the best part was? Colleen's description of food.
Oh my god, it's like I could taste it.
Nothing to the imagination. She gives you step by step all the food.
I was low-key disappointed whenever there weren't those descriptions in the last 3 books. I mean, what changed?
There were
Right.
some,
He became famous. Same changes of
there were
personality.
some, like when they went to the whatever it's called and they dined
And the
with
second one,
fairies.
yeah, with like the fairies and stuff, yeah.
We sat for I felt like it was like 2 pages. We're just reading about the food. And I was like, Colleen, tell me more. All of the details, Colleen. Then it wasn't written, and I was like, oh my gosh, get on with it. So they had some peanut butter and jelly. We're like, she's telling me how it was.
I think in one of the books there's like recipes in the back, right?
Is she gonna fucking fact check us right now? She's gonna whip it out and be like, page 172 actually has my favorite food description.
No, she put recipes in there.
Yeah.
I forgot
Kelsey's
about
recipes.
Biscuit and gravy.
Ultimate hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Rinse cookies.
Hey y'all, it is
Isn't-
September now. We should do some of Kelsey's hot cocoa.
Hey, man.
I have the recipe.
Yeah, perfect. What would you tell people to get them to read Tiger's Curse? Kelly did a good one. Hannah, it's your turn.
Yeah.
It's a good book, like transition from not reading to reading, because it, like, I wouldn't say it's geared for kids. It's geared more for late teens. So if you haven't had the experience of reading a lot, it has a easy comprehension speed, so you can like read it fairly quickly and it'll get you hyped up, and you're like, and it's like such high energy that you're just like, I gotta read. That was probably really gross, but
Yeah, I definitely, when
it's
I
good.
was reading through it, I was like it was a higher concept level, but the reading level was lower. I mean, I was reading like maybe a page a minute. I was like, I'm so fucking smart. I'm so smart.
Right.
Great.
Okay, so the next book is the Viral series, which the book club, we started a Instagram account. We actually just repurposed an old one that Hannah and I made in 2013. It's called Viral's Fan Pack, so if you want to go follow us, feel free. It's just us reviewing books and being fucking nerds, but we love it. Hannah and I started Virals, this was another junior high read, and then we looped in Kelly, and it took over our lives, and it was just so good. It's so wonderfully done. Even rereading it, the writing was it was a lower reading level, but the concepts I feel like were still really well put together. So this one's more sci-fi and mystery. I forgot completely about the mystery subplot, so that one was great to go back through with. It's about 4 kids and a dog who had a super virus that crosses to them, so now they've got wolf DNA and they've got these powers, and they're all science nerds, and they start cracking mysteries. It's wonderful. So here talking about this 100% for sure. The book club. Hashtag buzzin' my crew. That's a quote from the book. Feral friends. Another quote from the book. Well, actually from the book cover summary. Here is Kelly and Hannah.
Record.
Go
Viral.
time.
Hannah, just you start and then we'll kind of ride that wave.
Yeah. So this is my passion project. I actually wrote it. No, I didn't. This is the book that not to be dramatic, but it shaped me as a person. The author, Kathy Reichs, is a forensic anthropologist. And so from 7th grade to freshman year of college, I was dead set on being a forensic anthropologist. So that involves, TV show Bones. It's off the air. That was another devastating moment of my life right after the Viral's last book. But anyway.
It's just one no after another for him.
Yeah.
He's not doing
It was so going up, and then immediately it just went boom, and then it was going up again because I had Bones, and it went boom again. I'm gradually coming back. Anyway.
It's been like 4 years.
It has. I'm slowly recovering.
Oh my gosh.
So I came into college as an anthropologist, wanting to go down a bio track. But after learning that you can't make a lot of money doing that, I quickly changed to archaeology. So that's what I'm doing now.
Hey, Hannah, can you make a lot of money doing archaeology either?
You can make $60,000 a year at base pay.
Shit.
So yeah,
Oh,
I'm going to be rolling in it. And I get to travel around all the time, so that'll be fun. But the plot, like Tiger's Curse, it makes you feel smart reading it because it's not like they're spoon feeding you information. It's you're solving the mystery with them, with the Virals. So the Virals are super smart for their age bracket. And then whenever you're figuring out with them, especially if like you're around the age like that the characters were when it was like the books were published, like we were, you just felt so smart with them. And as they got older, you aged with them. And even reading back this 7th time I've read Virals.
Oh my gosh.
I guess we're up to 9 now. I think I lost the 8 somewhere in there. But
We're up to 9 now.
yeah, not to flex. It's held up. I haven't read the last few books in the series as much as the first 2 or 3. So I kind of forgot the mysteries. I think I only read the last book maybe 1 or 2 times. But
I loved the 3rd book. Kelly, have you yet finished the 3rd book?
Yeah, I haven't, whatever the last one is, I haven't finished that one.
Oh my gosh. How far are you in that one?
A chapter.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so eventually Kelly's going to finish that and be like, oh damn. Kelly, how did you feel about Virals?
Well, like I said before, the only thing I remembered was Ben's abs. So
Right.
when I read the book again, how many years later, like 7, 8, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It was good. I loved it. I liked the plot. It was amazing. It had me guessing what was gonna happen next.
Yes.
It was easy to get through. Like it wasn't a long read at all.
Hey, what's up? I know that stopped rather abruptly. It's November 1st, and I'm trying to get a whole bunch of this edited. When I was editing, I found that the amount that Hannah, Kelly, and I start tangenting on Virals could not be fit into this video without making it so long. So I'm doing a separate video if you want to see more of us going back and forth and talking more about the Viral series and how it impacted our lives. That is going to be up here pretty soon. Okay, back to the video. Okay. Next book I read and loved. American Royals. Oh my gosh. Let me pull up my notes. So this one, I actually borrowed it off of Hannah Scarborough's list, and she let me borrow her copy. It's another YA romance, contemporary alt history. This is the idea of after the American Revolutionary War, the people offered George Washington a crown, and he accepted it. And the Washington family's still on the throne to this day. So I thought the world building, absolutely amazing. The characters were so well written in 3D. They were relatable. There were so many political arcs and romance arcs, and there were plots that would all twist together, and you're getting these ins and outs. The 3 main characters, even though one of them's supposed to be the anti-hero, the antagonist, even her, you relate, you understand. They're so well written. I just think it was so well done. There's so much representation in this book that I enjoyed, and it was very good. The next one comes out September 1st, which is a little more than a week from when I'm filming this. So by the time this comes out, probably a month ago, I'm excited. I can't wait to see how all of this ends up going. So highly recommend American Royals. The next book I have to recommend is Crescent City's first book, House of Earth and Blood, by Sarah J. Maas. As we all know, Sarah J. Maas is wonderful. Her books are my scriptures. I did a whole video on it back in March when I initially read it. So if you read it, you should go check that out. Or if you want some spoilers, but you want to know if it's worth it, go check that out. I'll put the link in the description down below. It's fantasy. It was her first actually labeled adult book. It's romance. It's urban fantasy, though. Oh my gosh. It's just so good. It's so wonderful. It's so well written. Again, she's really changed my life. The way that she writes about things has made me feel like I can get through it all. Anyway, she's absolutely amazing. If you want good, well-written fantasy that is adult, do that. There's so many twists and turns by the last, half of it. It's just the last 200 pages, really. Screaming. So, A+. Next one to recommend, My Plain Jane. I read the first one of their series, My Fair Jane, maybe my sophomore year of high school. It was another one I borrowed from Hannah. They have a trilogy, and they're not connected at all. It doesn't matter where you start. This one, I actually recommended it to Mom and convinced her to read it, so maybe she'll talk a little bit about that. We'll see. It's really interesting. It's an alt history, comedy, mystery, romance, paranormal book. It's got 3 female authors, and you skip perspectives. This one's about Jane Eyre? Jane Eyre? I never say things out loud. You know when you learn things from reading them and then you say them out loud and you're like, that doesn't seem right.
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre? Okay. So this is about Jane Eyre, a different spin on all of that. And it was delightful. I actually laughed quite a bit with this book. It's just fun, it's lighthearted, and you're like, oh, this is so kind. So I'd recommend this. And again, it's a mystery, so you're just gonna just keep going. There's more. Yeah, it's good. Recommend that. Do you want to talk about what is this one? Can I have this? Which one's this? My Plain Jane.
Oh, My Plain Jane.
Yeah. Do you have any thought? Do you remember any thoughts on this?
I remember that. I don't want to give it away, but there are 3 main characters. The girls are friends, and a boy comes in and befriends them.
Yeah.
And
They track some ghosts together.
they track some. See, I didn't want to give it away. I didn't know what
Well,
else
that's
said.
They do say that pretty early on. Hi, Pumpkin.
They do say it early on in the book.
Yeah.
But it's like their friendships grow, and they find out things about each other, and they help each other along the way.
That was one of the better ones I read, because I actually did get you to read it.
Yes.
And you actually enjoyed it, too.
I did.
You usually don't read my YA paranormal stuff. Hi. Was I not petting you enough?
You weren't giving enough attention.
Any other good books you want to throw in while I'm recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything by the same author of Come Back to Me. I
Yeah.
think it's a good book because I really like the author. Watch Over Me. I mean, there's 4 of them, I think. Yeah, those are the books of the summer for me.
And you just read Midnight Sun.
Oh, I did just read Midnight
You
Sun.
passed that one off to me now, too, so
Yes,
I got
you're
another
welcome.
one.
You're welcome. I think it's great because it's Edward's it's from his point of view.
Yeah.
And I have so much more Alice
That's the
and
only
Esme,
person.
and I so enjoy that family.
That's the only ones you care about. You just care about the 2 of them.
And that's what the book is about, and so I like it so much more than Bella's version.
And you read Colin Joust. I read only fiction, so this would be the only nonfiction.
I did read
recommendation.
Colin Joust. Oh, fantastic book.
That's another one I have.
I really like him on Saturday Night Live. I like him in what he does, what he writes, and his book is just, I think it's well written. He's human, and he shows it in that book.
Yeah. Glitter, I have to get up now to go turn off the camera.
Nope. It's glitter time. I'll attempt to turn it
You
off.
want to try? Hold on, look at the screen.
Yeah.
See the little red square?
Yeah.
Click that. Click the screen. It's touch screen. My next one. A Curse So Dark and Lonely. So this one is another fantasy book. Wow, we're so surprised. It's YA romance. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Here's the thing. I put this on my want to read list, and then I borrowed it from Hannah. And I had read at some point that it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I don't like Beauty and the Beast. I don't like Beauty and the Beast retellings. I don't know why I read this. I mean, even Akotar, which is one of Sarah J. Maas's books, I didn't like that the first time I read it. And when I reread it last week, I still didn't like it. I love her series. I love the other works. It's just something about it. I mean, I did a really bad show at one point. That might be part of it. But also, it's just weird. It's like, you have to fall in love with him, but also you're his prisoner, and then you get Stockholm Syndrome and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't like them, but I read this anyway. I'm like trudging through it, and I'm like, this is dumb. This is dumb. And then by like 100 pages in it, I was like, but I'm invested now. It was just so well done that I kept wanting more. Like, they even talk about the Stockholm Syndrome. They even say, he's a good guy, but also he's keeping me as his prisoner, and I'm not really fond of that. Like, they go back and forth. Like, I'd be reading it, and I'd be like, I do like him, but he is keeping her captive. And then she'd say the same thing. So it's great to see that back and forth. I still think it was really well done. Then you get some, like, political alliance. You get some of that war room talk, and you start going through it. And I thought that was cool. And then I read the second one, and I think it might have actually been better. I liked those characters more. It was super in-depth. Again, well written. So the Shadow and Bone series and Six of Crows, what I didn't realize were written by the same author. Leah Berdugo. I'm sorry. And they're part of what she calls the Grishaverse, and there's actually 18 works in the Grishaverse that are listed on Goodreads at least, so it's such a well-built world. And the way that she approaches magic, I was so into it. I think that she did a wonderful job. I think this was one of this was fantasy, YA, romance, magic, adventure, but I think it was the darkest one I've read. Like, Sarah has some dark torture scenes, but this one took it to a little higher of a level for me. And maybe other people will disagree, but for me, it just felt like I was really in it. I think both Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows are wonderful. I finished the Shadow and Bone series, and I haven't read the second Six of Crows yet, so. Six of Crows has a huge following, and when I read it, I wasn't like, damn, I get it, I'm so sucked in. But also I was like, yeah, I respect this. This was a really well done book. The way that she approaches magics is she calls them small sciences and says that all the elements have to be there for you to be able to manipulate them. And I loved that take on it. And again, another one with conspiracy after conspiracy, and you're just getting whiplash as you're like, what? Hold on, step back. I didn't see that one coming. That one was a good time for me.
I have a small update to add here. Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows is being made into a Netflix show, and it's supposed to come out later. They're doing more filming right now. I just did a cursory check real quick before I recorded this, but Netflix is picking it up, and it's going to be, because those stories kind of overlap, apparently it's supposed to be both of those series together, so that'll be really interesting. This would be a good one if you want to get in on it now and then see how all that progresses. I think now would be your time. Back to the rest of the video now.
The last one that I have to recommend is The Hate You Give. This one was wonderful, and between this and Come Back to Me, I think it may be my only true non-fantasy on here. Oh my gosh, listen. It was so well done. It was so well done. The characters, amazing. There's just so much to them, and they were so well written. The story was so well written. This one's YA fiction. It's contemporary, realistic fiction about race and social justice. And you meet these characters, and you fall in love with them, and you root for them, and then 50 pages in, one of them's shot by a police officer, and you're like, fuck! And I think the way that she unpacked all of these things, it was just so real and so well done. I went and got the movie after this so that I could watch it with my mom, and they had to get rid of one of the characters because the plot would have been too long for the film if they'd included him. I was sad because I really liked that character. I didn't realize how much I liked him until I didn't get to see him on the screen. But even the movie I thought was really well done. Obviously they had to rearrange a couple things, changed a little bit, but I thought the adaptation was still wonderful. So if you want a book that you can read and then watch it, or a movie you can watch and then go see behind the curtain a little more, get a little more in depth with those characters and the plot, highly recommend The Hate You Give. So moving, and just, I really can't I can't tell you just how well written I thought those characters were. They really made me happy, and I thought they were so well done. Yeah, Since I've moved into my new place, I needed something to read. I mean, I always bring my SJM books with me, but I'm rereading them. It's wonderful rereading them. I've read, hold on. This is arguably my favorite book. This is all coming apart. It's stained across the front. I don't know if you can see it. It's tabbed with color codes. It's got a little sheet of notes that I keep in it. The bookmark is a sticker my friend got me. There's also a tally in here that I keep. And so I've read this one 5 times. It's about a 700-page book. So that shows you it's not just something you can just pick up and be like, yeah, time to like flip through this one. It's one that just makes me so happy. It's so inspiring. So anyway, Sarah's an inspiration and I love her. I think her characters, everything always gets back to characters for me. The characters are well done, well written. The plot, you never can know what to expect with her because she throws you a curveball and you want to be like, you're just doing this for the money, aren't you? But no, she'll have foreshadowed it 3 books before. Anyway, she's wonderful. So this one's only my second read through. I mean, I've been home alone the last couple of days, so I've been literally screaming, shrieking, yelling. There's one point I just, yeah, my boy! You know how it be sometimes when you're reading. And I'm sitting there tearing up at lines that I wouldn't even think would make me cry. Usually it's like gotta be really emotional scenes, but for this one, I'm just reading it and I'm like, oh, holy fuck. I do really love this series. I love all of Sarah's stuff. She's got the Throne of Glass series, A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and then now this Crescent City series, which we only have one of. I'll always recommend her because she's truly amazing. The things that she touches on, platonic and romantic love, childhood abuse, sexual abuse, PTSD, depression. This is some of the best depression and panic attacks that I've read. But not just the horrible things, it's the triumph through them. And that's what's so inspiring to me, is looking at these characters and being like, I can be that strong too. Anyway, this has been a moment of me rambling on about an author yet again. So anyway, I love Sarah. I will always sing her praises. You should 100% check out her books. She's always a recommendation. This has been my book recommendations. If you've read anything and you want to talk to me about it, if you're watching this, I'm sure you have my number. Text me, call me. Let's talk about books. I love that. I don't have a lot of really random people that come and watch my videos, which is fine with me. Not why I do it is to amass a following. But if you want to talk about it, feel free to follow us, Viral's Fan Pack. You can message me through there, or you can leave a comment. I've gotten 2 comments the entire time I've done this. I'm not really expecting any, so it's fine. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Just this really small thing. I'm really happy with my desk setup, so I wanted to show you guys a couple of pictures of it. It includes my little aloe plant that I took a clipping off from my home aloe, and the only framed picture so far up in my room, a picture of my cat Glitter, because I love her dearly. So yeah, anyway, we'll do the rest of the video now. Are those freckles? Damn. And see what happens.
Hello, I am being recorded.
Recording. It's a little light beeping. Kind of intimidating.
Okay, I'm gonna click stop and see what happens.
Blink.
Okay.
Blink. I'm watching it blink.
Is it this button?